Hello, this is Evangelist Dr. Robert L. McKim, Sr. I wanted to touch base some more about my degrees, my higher education degrees that I have, that I took back. Basically, I was studying the Bible when I was in junior high and high school. When I got out of high school, I was also studying the Bible. And after I became ordained in 1989 by another ordained minister who ordained me and sent my name in to the Universal Life Church to receive my ordination, I went on to study and bought some books and to study for my master's degree in religion, which I received my master's degree in December of 2000. Now, it does not say honorary degree. It is a degree that I studied for, I took tests for. I earned this degree. And then a year later, with some more studying, I earned and taken tests. I earned my Doctor of Philosophy in Religion. So yeah, I'm a doctor, even though I have an honorary Doctor of Divinity degree that all ordained ministers can receive by law through the Universal Life Church if they so desire. And then, and what I happened was back in 2003, this one minister friend of mine, he was a Mennonite minister, took a lot of my degrees and my books that I bought and studied, and burned them. He said he wanted to look at them, and then he turned around and told me he burned them. So then I had to go and to reapply to get my degrees back, see if they had anything on record. And yeah, they had them on record, and they sent me my degrees. But my ordination, basically, they had to start from scratch and reordain me, or send me another certificate with a new date on it. So that's my new ordination. My other ordination, he had burned. Of course, they asked me, why did you give him? I said, well, he just wanted to look at them. And I also went on and studied and earned my well, this is their form of pastoral counseling. It's called a Soul Clinic license. It's their form of pastoral counseling. I'm not really allowed to hold myself out as a licensed counselor in the state of Ohio unless I had went to a secular college and earned a secular degree and then filed with the state of Ohio. I also had later found this ministry and became ordained through this ministry, and they had chartered my ministry. My ministry is a legal ministry now through this ministry. Now, some of you are saying that, my degrees are not that I'm not a real doctor and my degrees are not real. Well, right here is a letter that I got back from the U.S. Department of Education. It is a real letter that I received in the mail back, well, when, I don't remember when they date. I don't think they dated this, but this was back in the 90s. I mean, not 90s, excuse me, in the 2000s, early 2000s. Long story short, the U.S. Department of Education states that the U.S. Department of Education is required by statute to publish a list of nationally recognized accrediting agencies that the Secretary deems to be reliable authorities as to the quality of education or training provided by the institutions of higher education. Basically colleges and universities. And the higher education program they accredit. The Secretary only evaluates accrediting agencies that apply for recognition. Only apply for the one that they only evaluate the ones that apply for accreditation. Sorry, my mouth is dry. Very dry. My medication makes my mouth dry at night. Long story short, okay, and certain criteria of recognition that are unrelated to the quality of accrediting activities limit the scope of the Secretary's recognition activities. The most specific purpose for this list is to determine the eligibility for post-secondary institutions to participate in the federal programs, including the Federal Student Aid Program. So basically, all colleges and universities that accept the Pell Grant and other loans through the U.S. Department of Education, the accreditation agencies have to be basically nationally recognized. Then the letter goes on here. It says the International Accreditation Agency may not have applied for recognition, or it may not have met the criteria for recognition. Then they go on and say, however, some religious institutions or agencies choose not to seek recognition by the U.S. Department of Education because they do not wish to be connected to a government entity. In regards to the legality of the degrees you obtain in most U.S. states jurisdictions, falsification of a claim to have studied at or graduated from a recognized school or institution is punishable by revocation of license, fines, imprisonment, or a combination. Degrees obtained from an institution accredited by a non-recognized agency are normally not recognized by other education institutions or employees because of the fact they are religious. That's why they are not recognized, and they do not want to be recognized by the U.S. Department of Education because they are religious. And they're not recognized by other educational institutions or employees because they're religious. But that does not make them any less legal. They are legal and binding because of the fact the International Accreditation Association is a legal accreditation agency. They are licensed in the state that they are out of. Now, here is a list that I obtained from U.S. Department of Education. Institutional accreditation bodies recognized by the United States Department of Education. Is up the top here. Notice I got right beside a couple of these. Ashford College that I was starting to study with is under a U.S. Department of Education recognized accreditation as agency, and Belmont Technical College is as well. And then accreditation bodies not recognized by the U.S. Department of Education. Of course, I got there in yellow. But notice the list there is shorter than the list here. Alright, now that's not just it. That list goes on to the next page. That list goes on to the next page. So the list of non-recognized accreditation agencies. But that doesn't mean that they're not illegal. My degrees are legal and binding under any court in this country. The Universal Life Church had fought in the U.S. Department, not U.S. Department, the U.S. District Court in California to basically give honorary degrees and have other degree programs. Long story short, people, just because an accreditation agency chooses not to be recognized does not make them illegal. Now, if the Universal Life Church was giving out degrees that was not accredited, then they would be illegal. My degrees are not illegal because they are accredited. I hold myself out to be a doctor because I earned my degrees, and they are accredited by a accreditation agency that even though they choose not to be recognized, that does not make them any less illegal. As long as they are licensed, they are legal. And they are licensed. And that's all there is to it. If you don't like it, take the Universal Life Church to court. Take all these other accreditation agencies that I had showed you on this list to court. Take them all to court. You won't win. Because you don't have a leg to stand on. You just want to run your mouth. And you want to say, well, basically, the court of public opinion says, if you didn't go to a college or a university and studied for 4 years, 6 years, 10 years, in a college setting, then your degrees are not, legal or recognized. Well, the court of public opinion needs to change. And that's why I'm doing these videos, in hopes to educate you of the truth. Because, okay, look at it this way. Jesus Christ was only on the face of the earth for 33 years. And he only taught his disciples for 3 years. He taught his disciples for 3 years. 3. Not 33. Not 10. Not 5. 3. So why do you gotta go to college to learn the Word of God and to learn the right thing? Why do you gotta go to college for 4 years and then maybe even go another 2 years for your doctorate degree? Well, you know, why? Because somewhere someone says you got to. There is no exact law on the books that says you have to go to college and you have to study those X amount of years. It's just what the colleges had put out there for so many years, and we have accepted to be truth. Well, I'm putting it out there, the truth. You don't have to. You can go online nowadays and study for a degree. You can still study at home and get your books at home, like I did. You don't have to go to college. It doesn't make your degrees any less legal. Well, listen, I need to get off here and get something to drink, and it's been a crazy day today. It didn't feel good all afternoon. My sugar was in the 170 range, and it's been raining today. It would rain, then it quit, then it rained and it quit. Then we had a little bit of thunder, a little bit of lightning, and then it didn't last too long. But it's just been, you know, crazy weather, and the weather basically gets me down physically. I need a new muffler for my van. My muffler is under warranty. But I need $100 for the labor, and I've been seeking help from some churches to see if there's a body out there that could of Christ that could help me out get my muffler replaced, so I don't have to use any more I don't have to use my bill money to do it, or my grocery money to do it. Because, well, I don't rob Peter to pay Paul like my mother did. When my mother was alive and managing money, she would tell somebody, well, I don't have the money, so she can basically go and use that money to pay another bill, or buy some groceries, or have it to do something else with. I don't do that. I pay my debts, I pay my bills. My current bills. I can't pay every single bill that I owe. I cannot go and pay all the credit cards I had when I was married that my ex-wife helped me to run up, that she refuses to acknowledge that she had anything to do with them, and basically stuck me with them. The judge didn't see it that way when he ordered me and her to pay for it. Even though she wasn't in court, she didn't go to court. Me and Renee went to court. for a credit card agent company that I had. Started out basically with Fingerhut. Started out having a Fingerhut account. Then Fingerhut did away with their own basically payment account and started giving people a credit card. And then that credit card company basically took over paying for Fingerhut, and they had Fingerhut on the credit card, but you can use it for other things than just Fingerhut. You can use it for gas and groceries and other things. So we started using it for other things than Fingerhut. And long story short, we paid it off. When I got my income tax refund, I paid it off. Paid off a couple of other credit cards I had, but then right back, using them again. And then I got laid off from all my jobs I was doing as a school bus driver. I filed the forms. See, I was paying for an insurance on those credit cards, so if anything happens, the insurance will pay for them. Long story short, I got letters stating that I didn't file, or I was filed late, or some stupid reason not to pay for those credit cards, even though I was paying the insurance on those cards. The insurance on the cards are a joke. They don't want to pay out. They don't want to pay out. So if you have insurance on your card, take it off. It's not worth it. If anything happens to you, you still got to pay the credit card. One of the credit card companies was Capital One. They worked out a deal with me where they gave me my card back, gave me a limit of so much money, and I had to pay so much a month. And then they was going to raise my limit. Long story short, Capital One sold it to another credit card company, and then that credit card company sold to the current one I currently have. That I've been with for a long time now, paying my minimum payment, sometimes having to basically go lower. I mean, not under, but have to basically spend that what I had paid and what I had built up, what the payments I know I had to spend it for something else. Well, long story short, I just can't get any headway. But there you have it with my degrees. And what the U.S. Department of Education said to me. I also, now if my ordination wasn't real, like some people think, oh, you just go off the internet, it's an internet church, then why does the state of Ohio recognize me as an ordained minister and gave me my license to solemnize marriages, and also with the other ministry as well? I've even studied with the Theophosic ministry, and earned my certificate in Theophosic prayer ministry. I have studied and earned my certificate and study course through with Dr. Dave Brees, that had passed away, and the Universal Life Church Christian Fellowship. So there you have it. And I'm still learning things that God wants me to know, and to teach people the truth of His Word. The problem is, you don't like the truth. You want to stick with the old ways that the old preachers have taught for over 100 years now. And you'd rather believe them and their false teachings, preaching out of both corners of their mouth, than to believe the truth. You can't have Matthew 24:29 through 31 flipped the way that some preachers want to flip it. You can't flip the scriptures. If you flip the scriptures, then basically you're making Jesus a liar. Jesus said in Matthew 24:29, immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, the moon will not give off its light, there'll be signs in the heavens and the earth, and He'll be coming back in the clouds with a loud trumpet. He'll send out His angels to gather the elect, and from four winds of the earth. Long story short, Jesus is coming back after the tribulation. Well, basically in between the tribulation, or I should say tribulations. There's two stages of the tribulation. The first stage is the birth pains. The second stage is God's wrath. In between the two stages, Jesus is returning. And then after the second stage is when we are coming back with Jesus Christ to put a stop to all the turmoil going on earth, all the fighting. But we'll be coming back on white horses. We're not going up on white horses. We are going up when being changed, receiving a glorified body as we're going up. So we can be with Jesus Christ and have the marriage supper of the Lamb, receive our crowns, and then crown Jesus King. And it isn't just going to be the Jews, it's going to be the Gentiles as well, who believes in Jesus Christ, who's watching and waiting for Jesus Christ, who is Jesus' bride, the church. I can't wait until that day comes, and a lot of these other Christians that say they're Christian are left behind, because they'll see all this happening. Everybody, even the non-believers, will see this happening. The whole earth will see it happening. They'll be left behind, and they'll be like, huh? What just happened? Well, listen, I gotta get off here. My time's almost over. God bless you. Have a blessed day.